All right, guys, today we're going to be talking about the next form of a linear equation, and that is point-slope form. Before we get into that, I want you to give that one at the top on reviewing slope-intercept form a quick little try. So pause your screen and try to write the equation in slope-intercept form of a line that crosses through the points 5, 9, and 7, 15. Go ahead and give that one a shot. After you've paused the screen and tried it on your own, hopefully you're able to figure out that you first need to find the slope. The slope is not given, so we have to find the difference in our y values and the difference in our x values. You should have found the slope to be 3. Once you find the slope, you can use the slope and one of your points, it doesn't matter which, to plug back into y equals mx plus b. Solve to find the value of b. After you have found that the y-intercept is -6, you now know your slope and your y-intercept, so you can plug into slope-intercept form. Check yourself, make sure that you did this, got those same answers. If you plugged in a different point, if you plugged in the point 715 back in step 2, you would still get y equals 3x minus 6 as your final answer. Today we're going to be focusing on another form of a line called point-slope form. Point-slope form is, like I said, just another way of writing a linear equation. It has a base equation, kind of like y equals mx plus b, except it looks like this. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now let's talk about what each of these pieces stands for. The m, you should be very comfortable recognizing at this point, is the slope of the line. The x1 and the y1 put together make a point. It's just a point that's given on the line. So that's our x1, y1. Point-slope form, in order to write point-slope form, you need two things, and it is what it sounds like. You need a point on the line, and the slope on the line. It is a very handy formula to have in your back pocket to write the equation of a line, because you can take point-slope form and turn it into any other equation very easily. Let's talk about how to graph in point-slope form. If you are given an equation and you want to graph it, if it's given in point-slope form, you first determine the point that is given in the equation. Remember, if you look up here, you'll notice that there's a negative in front of this x and a negative in front of this y1. When you take the point out of the equation, you have to take the opposite of what you see because of that negative sign that sits there. So for example, in this example, we have y minus 3 equals 2 times x plus 2. This is our x value. This is our y value. The x looks like it should be positive 2. However, because the base equation has a negative out in front, you're going to want to change the sign when you take it out. So that is negative 2. The y value, similarly, when you take it out, is not negative 3, it is positive 3. So always take the opposite of what you see. We'll get lots of practice with that. Then figure out the slope of the line. Remember, the slope is in front of the parentheses. The slope helps you find, it's like a GPS tool, helps you find more points on the line. Remember that the numerator represents the rise. The denominator represents the run. So the numerator tells you the up and down direction. The denominator tells you the side to side direction. You use the slope to find more points. You connect your more points, and then you have your line. Let's try it out with this first example. In this first example, it's in point-slope form. We see the y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So the first thing we're going to find is our point. To find the point, the x value will be over here, The y value will be over here. Remember, you take the opposite. So, not -4, the x is not a -4, it's a +4. And the y is not -3, it is +3. Go to the point 4, 3. Make a point. We know that that point is on the line. The next thing we'll find is the slope. The slope is the value that's in front of the parentheses, -2. Remember, when it's a whole number, you can put it over 1 so that you can see the rise and the run appropriately. The rise is telling us -2. That means we're going to go down 2. The run is telling us to run 1, so go right 1. Go back to your point, 4, 3. Go down 2, right 1. Down 2, right 1. You can also do the opposite. Go up 2, left 1. Up 2, left 1. When you have enough points to connect across your page, do that putting arrows on the end. You'll notice that this equation has a negative slope. One quick thing to check, this graph is falling, so it has a negative slope as well. Pause the screen and find the point and the slope that is given in this equation. Remember, the x part of the point is going to be in the parentheses with the x. The y part of the point is going to be with the y on the opposite side of the equal sign. Also remember to take the opposites. So we see -3 in there with x, so we take out a +3. We see +1 with y, so we take out a -1. Go to the point 3, -1, and put that ordered pair on the line. The slope you should have found to be 1/2, +1/2. The 1 is telling us to rise 1. The 2 is telling us to go right 2. You can also do the opposite. Connect your ordered pairs, put arrows on the end, and you've got yourself your lovely linear function. Notice again, just a quick thing to check, this is a positive slope, as does this line. Let's try out the next page. On this back side, we're going to start by finding the equation in point-slope form of each of the following lines. Now, in point-slope form, the name is telling you exactly what you need to find, point and a slope. There are an infinite number of points on this line, meaning there are an infinite number of ways to write this equation in point-slope form. You just need to find one point. Make sure it goes to the corner of a square. So for example, I'm going to use this point. Four, 1. That's my x, that's my y. I could have just as easily used 0, -2, or -4, -5. Those are all fine. We also need the slope. So find two ordered pairs that go through the corners of squares. Find your rise, find your run. We rise 1, 2, 3. We run 1, 2, 3, 4. This line has a positive slope, so it's a slope of +3/4. Now we can take both of those and plug them into our point slope formula, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Let's give it a shot. This first y you just write as y minus. Our y1 value, or the y value of the point we found, was 1. The slope goes next, 3/4, times the quantity of this x just stays x, minus your x value, 4. Notice how, if we were going to actually use this equation to write the line, we would take out the point +4, +1, and our slope would be 3/4. Try out the one to the right, finding a point on the line, finding a slope, and plugging into point slope form. Pause the screen and give it a shot. Check yourself and see how you did. I used the point 2, 1. You did not have to use that point. You could have used any point that was on this line. So that's where our answers may differ. The slope should be the same for everyone. Make sure that it is not just 1, it is a -1. The graph is falling across the graph. The line is falling across the graph. Or in other words, you rise 1, you run to the left 1. So that's 1 over -1, a slope of -1. When you plug into your point slope formula, using my point, it would have looked like these equations down here. Now you'll notice that the only difference between these two, I just wanted to point out, if your slope is -1, you don't have to write that -1. You can just put a negative. It's the same thing. Let's move along. Let's try this point slope formula out in a word problem setting. A new book sold 500 copies in the first day. After this, 30 copies are sold each day. Write an equation in point slope form modeling the number of books that are sold. Remember, if we want to write it in point slope form, we have to have a point and we have to have the slope. Now, let's think about the things that are given. They tell us that 500 copies are sold in the first day. They also tell us that 30 copies are sold each day after that. This rate of change here, this 30 copies sold each day, what part of the equation are they giving us here? They're giving us the rate of change, which is our slope. So we know our slope is 30. We're selling 30 books every 1 day. Now let's see if we can find our point. They tell us in the first day there are 500 copies sold. Before we figure out the point, it might be helpful for us to think about what the x value represents and what the y value represents. Remember, the x value is the independent variable, what is causing the change. That should be the day. The y value, the resulting dependent variable, well, as the days go on, what is changing? The number of copies that are sold. So using these two pieces of information, let's see if we can go back to this information. On the first day, 500 copies were sold. So our x value of the day is 1. The number of copies that are sold would be 500. We now have a point, we have our slope, so we can plug into point slope form. So we have y minus your y value equals your slope times x minus the x value of the point. Voila. The last thing we're going to focus on is how to write the equation of a line in point slope form. If you are given simply the slope and a point, you can just plug directly into the equation. So for example, on this problem, we have the slope, we have the point, you can label it x and y, and then you can just very simply plug it into point slope form. So we would have y minus your y value equals your slope times the quantity of x minus your x value. Now, you see how this says -0? It's really no use writing that. Another way you can write this equation of a line is y minus 3 equals 1/2 x. Both of those are fine. Go ahead and give it a shot with this one. Plug in your point, plug in your slope, write it in point slope form. Check yourself. Make sure that you plugged in the slope in front of the parentheses, and when you plug in your x value and your y value, they should have the opposite signs of what they look like in the original point. In your last example down here, we're going to be given 2 points. In other words, we're going to be given the point, but we're not going to be given the slope. So if you're asked to find the equation of a line that passes through 2 points, and we want to write it in point slope form, you first have to find the slope. You use your equation to find slope. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Remember, it's the rise, the change in the y values, over the change in the x values. Then plug in the slope and one of the points. It doesn't matter which one. So we're going to first find the slope, find the change in your y's over the change in your x's. Leave it as an improper fraction. Then you can plug in your slope and a point. It does not matter which point you use. So you could have that, or you could have y minus 2 equals 5/3 times x minus 3. Both are fine. What does matter is that you have your correct slope and you have the x's and the y's in the correct spots. So either one of these is good to go. Go ahead and give your assignment a try where you're practicing all things point slope form.